Hello and good morning, good afternoon. Welcome to today's Power Boost. It's very good if we learn to be the master of our own minds, making our mind my best friend. We all struggle with too many thoughts. At times, thoughts can race very fast, and the quality of our thoughts at times can also fluctuate and even become negative. We have too many thoughts about other people, what other people do. We have many thoughts about the environment. And there are different reasons why the mind is very busy. And we all are interested in experiencing peace of mind, experiencing inner peace. And an essential method that we can all learn and practice is to become the observer of your own mind. And talking or thinking about the mind, we are connecting already with part of our own consciousness, because the mind, we know, is not physical, it is non-physical. And it really belongs to consciousness. The mind is a fascinating, has fascinating qualities. However, if we don't care, if we don't guide our mind, if we don't give it direction of what thoughts to think, in what direction to think, the mind over time becomes like a wild horse. And so how do we create that inner peace? It is actually very easy. And as it is a subtle ability, it has nothing to do with the physical eyes. It's a matter of awareness, of understanding and awareness. And so that interest to turn my attention, my subtle attention on my own self, and understanding that as a living being, as the living life force in this body, I, the being, I have a mind. I am not my mind, but I have a mind. And so the whole practice of becoming the observer of what is going on in my mind. Because whatever is in my mind is not what or who I am, is not a reflection of who I am. There are many reasons why certain thoughts or the frequency of certain thoughts come in our minds. But the practice of observing, of turning the attention on my own inner self for a few moments, and I repeat this a few times throughout the day, is very, very helpful. It is a conscious practice, and the moment I become conscious, I become aware of what is actually in the mind and that I can look at it, I'm already connecting also to a bigger part of myself, to something that is much more beneficial and uplifting, stable then what is going on in my mind? So as I connect to my own self as that being, that living energy, and I start to observe the mind, I can become free from the influence of the thoughts or feelings, emotions that are in the mind. And I can start to experience inner calmness, inner peace, simply through that practice of being, we call it a detached observer. Detached, simply, I give the focus of my attention to my subtle being, turning it away temporarily, turning my focus of attention away from the physical and holding that thought, that idea that let me now look at my own thoughts. What is going on in my mind? So for that, I, the being, the observer, I become still. Is in a way you can think of if you listen to someone authentically, proactively, compassionately, then I am listening and I am still and calm and quiet within while I give my ear and my attention to what that other being is expressing. Yeah. So we can, if we practice actually, if we want, if we choose, we can attentively listen to someone. But now that someone is my actually, or something is my own mind. But in a way, it's the same principle. It's a matter of paying attention and which direction do I look at? Which direction my ears are going? Where's the sound coming from? So away, now we are stepping away from the outside. We are stepping towards the inner self, the conscious being, with that understanding that I am the living being and I have a mind, and whatever I feel, positive, negative, whatever is going on in my head is actually experienced also in my mind. So let us now move into a reflective meditation and become the detached observer of my own mind. I sit calmly, give briefly some attention to the body. We can scan the body consciously from the bottom up and give permission to the muscles to relax, to let go, and turn my focus of attention consciously and gradually away from my sense perception as I bring the energy up to the center of the forehead. You can visualize, if you wish, a point of stillness, a point of beautiful radiating light just behind the center of the forehead, and hold the focus on this point. Relax the body and gently, without force, have the aim to keep your attention on this point of beautiful light, there's nothing else to do. There's nothing to think about in this moment. Just make yourself familiar with that inner stillness that starts to emerge as I hold the focus gently on this point of inner stillness. I am a being of peace. I'm a being of light and peace is my natural nature. And I, the being, I have a mind. This mind has many amazing qualities. And one characteristic of the mind is to keep thinking, generating thoughts. So I hold the awareness that I am a being of peace and I have a mind. I become the observer of my mind. All the thoughts that keep coming, floating around. Maybe you experience certain emotions, feelings. Maybe there is some chatter in the mind. Maybe you feel moody. All of it is experienced in the mind. And I, the being, I become the observer of all the busyness, all the feelings that emerge or are present in the mind. They are experienced and show up in the mind. But I am this incredible being of light, of peace, and I'm looking at the mind. I am not. What is going on in the mind? The mind is an ability, a faculty with many abilities that I have. And the mind has also the ability to feel, to experience. But I am that being of light. And even though the mind can be very busy, the moment I stabilize in that awareness of my true self, and I become the observer of all the thoughts, feelings, emotions in my mind, inner calm, inner peace, inner stillness settles in. I am calm. I'm peaceful. There is no judgment. There is no opinion. There is no like or dislike of whatever the mind is feeling, whatever is playing out in the mind. I see the thoughts, see the feelings. I feel it. But at the same time, I look at it. Whatever is playing out in my mind is not a reflection of my true self, is not a reflection of who I am. I am that being of peace. Om Shanti means I am that living being and I am peace. This is who I am. And for different reasons. I have different thoughts, different moods, different feelings. But now I know that I simply can become the observer of my own mind and settle in the quality of peace, inner peace. The observer is completely neutral. The observer remains uninfluenced, stable in its peace. Om Shanti.